Hello everyone. Before starting the video, subscribe to the channel because there are many different scary adventures. It was a typical day for Jane, a small business owner who sold handmade jewelry on the Amazon marketplace. She had been running her business for a few years and had found great success on the platform. But today was different. She received an email from Amazon stating that her account had been suspended due to a violation of their policies. Confused and worried, Jane tried to contact Amazon's customer support team. But despite her numerous attempts, she was unable to reach anyone. Her emails went unanswered, and she spent hours on hold, listening to the same repetitive hold music. As the days went by, Jane's frustration turned to fear. She had invested everything in her business, and now it seemed like it was all slipping away. But then, something strange started to happen. She began to receive emails from anonymous sources offering to help her get her account reinstated. At first, Jane was skeptical, but then the emails started to become more frequent, and the offers more tempting. They promised to help her get her account back in good standing, and even offered to take care of her competitors for a price. Desperate and scared, Jane finally agreed to meet one of the anonymous sources in person. She was led to a dark alleyway by a man who spoke in hushed tones. He handed her a small package and told her to open it once she was alone. When Jane opened the package, she found a small vial of liquid and a note. The note instructed her to add the liquid to her competitors' products, and they would be banned from the platform, leaving Jane as the only seller of her product. Jane was hesitant, but the thought of losing everything she had worked for was too much to bear. She started to add the liquid to her competitors' products, and soon enough, they were all banned from the Amazon marketplace. But then, the emails started to come in again. This time they were more threatening. They demanded more money and more products to be tampered with. Jane tried to back out, but it was too late. The anonymous sources had too much on her, and they made it clear that they wouldn't hesitate to ruin her life. Jane became trapped in a web of deceit and lies. She was forced to do the bidding of the anonymous sources, and her once thriving business became nothing more than a front for their illegal activities. But then, one day, Jane received a call from Amazon. They had finally reviewed her case, and it turned out that her account had been suspended due to a mistake. They reinstated her account immediately, and Jane was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. But it was short-lived. The anonymous sources were furious. They had lost their cash cow, and they were determined to make Jane pay. They began to stalk her, leaving threatening messages and making their presence known. Jane knew she had to act fast. She contacted the police and told them everything. They promised to help, but it was too late. The anonymous sources had already found her. They broke into her home, and Jane was never seen again. The Amazon marketplace can be a scary place, and Jane's story is a cautionary tale for anyone looking to do business on the platform. It's important to be aware of the risks and to stay vigilant, because you never know who is watching and what they might be capable of. In the bustling and ever-growing world of e-commerce, Amazon reigns supreme. Millions of people turn to the platform every day to buy and sell products, and for the most part, it's a convenient and easy process. But what if I told you that behind the facade of the Amazon marketplace, there was something sinister lurking? It started with just a few reports from customers who had received strange items in their packages. One woman received a box of used toys instead of the new ones she had ordered. Another customer received a package filled with random household items they had never even heard of. But these isolated incidents soon turned into something much more disturbing. It was discovered that there was a group of rogue sellers on the Amazon marketplace who were intentionally sending out the wrong products. It wasn't just innocent mistakes, but a calculated plan to send out products that were useless, counterfeit, or even dangerous. These rogue sellers would purchase real products, swap them with inferior ones, and then sell them at a higher price. At first, Amazon tried to crack down on these sellers, but it was like playing a game of whack-a-mole. As soon as one was taken down, another would pop up in its place. And as time went on, the rogue sellers became more brazen. Customers started receiving packages that contained nothing at all, or even worse, items that were actively harmful. One customer received a bottle of bleach instead of the shampoo they had ordered. Another received a jar of poisonous spiders instead of the exotic spices they had been hoping for. The consequences of these mistakes were not only financial but could be life-threatening. Amazon was inundated with complaints from customers, but the rogue sellers remained elusive. They had found a way to hide their identities and evade detection. And then, something even more alarming was discovered. It was found that the rogue sellers were working together, communicating through encrypted channels and sharing tips and tricks on how to stay hidden. They had formed a sort of underground marketplace, where they could sell their counterfeit or dangerous products without fear of repercussions. And that's when the nightmare truly began. People started disappearing. It started with the customers who had received the faulty products, but then it spread to Amazon employees and even law enforcement officials who were investigating the case. The rogue sellers had grown bolder, and they were willing to do whatever it took to protect their operation. They were like a shadowy organization, with connections and resources that extended far beyond the Amazon marketplace. They had infiltrated government agencies and police departments, making it nearly impossible to stop them. And now, when you place an order on Amazon, you never know what you're going to get. It could be exactly what you were hoping for, or it could be a ticking time bomb. The rogue sellers are still out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for their next victim. And they're getting better at what they do. They're learning from their mistakes and adapting their tactics. So be careful when you order on Amazon. You never know who's watching and what they're capable of. The Amazon Marketplace is not just a convenient shopping platform anymore. It's a dangerous game where the stakes are higher than anyone ever imagined. Alice had always been fascinated by the Amazon Marketplace. As an avid online shopper, she has spent countless hours scrolling through the thousands of products available on the site. So, when she received an email inviting her to become a product tester for the site, she couldn't believe her luck. The email stated that she would receive free products in exchange for writing honest reviews. Alice jumped at the chance, eagerly signing up to become a tester. It wasn't long before the first package arrived. It was a small box containing a set of kitchen knives. Alice was impressed with the quality of the knives and wrote a glowing review on the site. Over the next few weeks, more packages arrived, each containing a different product. Alice enjoyed trying out each one and writing her reviews. But then, something strange started to happen. She began receiving packages that she hadn't ordered. At first, it was just a few small items, like a pack of gum or a keychain. But then, the packages started to get larger and more expensive. She received a brand new laptop, a designer handbag, and even a smart TV. Alice was puzzled. She had not ordered any of these items, and yet they kept arriving at her doorstep. She checked her bank account, but there were no charges for the products. One day, a package arrived that chilled her to the bone. It was a small box containing a single human tooth. She was horrified and immediately contacted Amazon customer service. The representative she spoke to was sympathetic but couldn't explain how the tooth had ended up in the package. Alice was disturbed but tried to put it out of her mind. However, the packages kept coming, and each one seemed to be more unsettling than the last. One package contained a vial of blood, another contained a lock of hair, and another contained a single human finger. Alice was beside herself with fear and contacted Amazon customer service again. But this time, the representative she spoke to was not sympathetic at all. The woman on the other end of the line told her that she had signed up for the product testing program and that she was legally obligated to continue receiving and reviewing the products. Alice protested, telling a representative about the tooth, the blood, and the finger, but the woman simply brushed her off, telling her that sometimes unusual items ended up in the packages. Alice was terrified. She didn't know what to do. She tried to cancel her account, but it was impossible. She tried to contact Amazon headquarters, but she was ignored. Then, one day, a package arrived that changed everything. It was a small box containing a single playing card. Alice recognized it immediately. It was the same card that had been left at the scene of a murder she had read about in the news. She was hysterical, and her boyfriend called the police. The police arrived and confiscated all of the packages, but they were unable to trace them back to any specific sender. Alice was traumatized by the experience. She never shopped on Amazon again and could never shake the feeling that someone was watching her, even in the safety of her own home. In the vast sea of online shopping, there was a marketplace unlike any other. It was called the Amazon Marketplace, and it was a place where anyone could sell anything. From rare books to exotic spices, you could find it all on Amazon. But there was something sinister lurking beneath the surface. It started with a small glitch in the system. A seller noticed that his product listing had disappeared, despite having high ratings and a loyal customer base. He contacted Amazon customer service, but they couldn't give him a straight answer. He assumed it was a mistake and moved on. But then, it started happening to more and more sellers. Entire stores were disappearing overnight, without any explanation or warning. The sellers were left in the dark, with no way to contact Amazon or get their products back. The rumors started spreading. Some sellers claimed that their products were being stolen by Amazon itself and resold under a different name. Others claimed that there was a secret black market within Amazon, where certain sellers had access to exclusive product listings that were hidden from the public. The truth was even more terrifying. It turned out that there was a group of hackers who had infiltrated Amazon's system. They were a shadowy collective known as the Black Market, and they had set up shop within Amazon's own marketplace. They had created a secret network within Amazon, where they sold illegal and dangerous products under false names. They used Amazon's reputation and trust to lure in unsuspecting customers who thought they were buying from legitimate sellers. The black market had everything from counterfeit goods to illegal drugs, and they were making a killing off of Amazon's unsuspecting customers. Amazon tried to shut them down, but the black market was too sophisticated. They had created a complex web of fake accounts and listings, making it almost impossible to trace them. Amazon was losing millions of dollars every day, and their reputation was at stake. And then, something even more sinister happened. The black market started targeting Amazon's own employees. They would hack into their accounts and blackmail them into giving up sensitive information. Some employees were even forced to work for the black market, using their insider knowledge to help them evade Amazon's detection. The Amazon marketplace had become a breeding ground for criminal activity, and no one knew how to stop it. The black market had become too powerful, and they had too many allies within Amazon itself. And so, the black market continued to thrive within Amazon, selling their illegal wares to unsuspecting customers. The Amazon marketplace had become a place of danger and deception, where nothing was as it seemed. Customers were no longer safe, and even Amazon's own employees were at risk. The world had become a darker place, and it all started with a small glitch in the Amazon marketplace. There was once a young woman named Maria who had always been interested in fashion. She had a natural talent for design, and after completing her degree in fashion design, she decided to start her own clothing line. Maria was passionate about creating unique, high-quality clothing that would stand out in the crowded fashion marketplace. She decided to sell her clothing on Amazon, knowing that it was the biggest online marketplace in the world. Maria set up her shop and started listing her products, and before long, orders started to roll in. She was thrilled to see her designs being sold all over the world, and her business began to grow rapidly. But then, something strange started to happen. Maria noticed that her products were being sold by other sellers on Amazon, sellers who had never contacted her for permission to sell her designs. At first, she thought it was a mistake, but then she realized that it was something more sinister. It seemed that other sellers on Amazon were stealing Maria's designs and selling them as their own. They had copied her patterns, fabrics, and even her logos. They were selling cheaper versions of her products, and customers were buying them instead of the original designs. Maria was devastated. She had put so much hard work and creativity into her designs, and now they were being stolen and copied by others. She tried to contact Amazon, but they were slow to respond. They told her that it was a common problem on the marketplace and that they were doing their best to combat it. But Maria wasn't willing to give up. She decided to take matters into her own hands. She started buying the counterfeit versions of her products and analyzing them. She found out that they were being produced in a sweatshop in Asia, where workers were being paid very low wages to copy designs from the Amazon marketplace. Maria was horrified. She had always prided herself on creating ethical and sustainable fashion, and now her designs were being copied by sweatshops. She knew that she had to do something to stop it. She started by contacting other designers on Amazon who had experienced similar problems. Together, they formed a coalition to fight against the theft of their intellectual property. They shared information and strategies, and they started putting pressure on Amazon to take action. Slowly but surely, Amazon started to respond. They created a program to help protect the intellectual property of designers on their platform. They implemented stricter rules for sellers, and they started investigating the counterfeit factories in Asia. Maria was pleased with the progress, but she knew that the fight wasn't over yet. She continued to monitor her designs on Amazon, and she found that there were still sellers who were stealing her designs. But now, she had a community of designers behind her, and together, they were making a difference. In the end, Maria learned a valuable lesson about the Amazon marketplace. It was a place of immense opportunity, but it was also a place of intense competition. She realized that she needed to be vigilant and proactive in protecting her designs, and she also realized that she was not alone. The community of designers on Amazon was a powerful force, and together, they could make a difference.